Hello and welcome to the Motorcycle Report. My name's Ryan, and if you're like me, you want to know all there is to know about the past, present, and future of the motorcycle world. For today's report, I'd like to talk about Fran Crane. I'll be honest, I'm a very average rider. During the good weather, which is about 2/3 of the year where I live, I generally go for a ride every other day, if not every day. If I'm riding around the area where I live, I'll go anywhere from 50 to 100 miles just for the enjoyment. If I'm taking a trip, I rarely plot a distance over 300 miles away. So from 50 to 300 miles in a day, I call it good. I've seen what I need to see, I've experienced the bike as I've needed to, and I'm satisfied with the way I feel about it afterwards. That's right, I consider myself a very average rider. There are people who ride less. They don't need to ride as much as I do to get a similar feeling and experience at the end of the day each time they go. I like to get lost like a lot of us riders do. When you don't know exactly where you're going, but you'll know where you are when you get there. This seems to me to also be a trait of the average rider. Just go for a ride, for the ride itself. But then there's the long distance riders. Those who know the term iron butt all too well. There's one rider in particular who caught my interest when I was researching this report. Her name is Fran Crane. An excerpt from American Motorcyclist magazine tells of her Guinness Book World Record for a ride she made in 1988 from New York to San Francisco, some 2,974 miles in 44 hours and 20 minutes. To give you an idea of the kind of stuff Fran was made of, I'll mention that the Iron Butts Association's website has many riders' certifications. One is for riding through all the lower 48 states in 10 days or less. Fran won another Guinness World Record for riding through all of the lower 48 states in 6.5 days. 6.5 days, all the states. A lot of time to spare. An Iron Butt rally is no joke, and both men and women compete together in the same event. But many of the riders don't even finish, let alone place high in consecutive years. In 1986, Fran finished third, and in 1987, she finished second. Taking a further look at the IBA statistics list, the top 70 riders who put away the most miles in one rally only records one other woman, besides Fran, to ever make the list. During the 1987 rally, she rode for a staggering 12,166 miles on her 1985 BMW K100. A note on the BMW K100. Nicknamed the Flying Brick, it was produced from 1982 to 1992. It had a longitudinal dual overhead cam, inline 4, 987cc engine. It had a top speed of 137 miles per hour and weighed 536 pounds. I found even more amazing statistics about Fran Crane on a BMW newsletter from years ago. By the time she was 30, she'd already earned her first 100,000 mileage award from BMW, and she knew more about riding than just endurance. She was a highly regarded road racer as well. It seems BMW and Fran Crane go hand in hand, as she was a charter member as well as newsletter editor of the Ladies BMW Motorcycle Association. You know, they don't make women's motorcycles. No one does, as far as I know, and even if they did today, they certainly didn't back then. And so Fran was riding the same bikes as the men and showing many of them just how to do it. She was also a very good riding instructor for Average Joe and Joe Racer. How could one person, let alone that person being female, and it really doesn't matter that she was female because I'm sure a lot of males and females alike have emulated her over the years, how could she achieve these amazing accomplishments? Well, I've never known her, and I only first heard about her when I was researching this report. Even at that, I believe I have at least some idea. I believe there's one word to describe all of those billions of tire rotations under Fran's throttle turns. I'm going to pause for a moment and see if you can guess it. Have you got it? Well, maybe you do. It is passion. A passion for life, first and foremost, a passion for speed, and a passion for euphoria. When we step past what we believe we can achieve, then what comes next for us is a feeling of passion-induced euphoria. You know, that feeling you get when you didn't think you could do something and then somehow, some way you do. That feeling you get when someone tells you that you can't do something and lo and behold, through many trials, you can. Also, I'm most certain of one thing. Unless you are of an extremely select few riders to ever throw a leg over a bike, Fran Crane was simply better at riding a motorcycle than you. And when I say you, I mean me too. Well, that's all for this report. If you like this video and you'd like to hear more, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.